Do you want to know the 3 biggest red flags to look out for when finding the right IMO for you in this insurance industry? Well, after 5 years of working with over 1,000 agents, I want to give you just that. I also want to tell you what to look for and really what is an IMO there for anyway. So let's dive in. This question came from our free agent community. It's approaching 4,000 members. It's free. Link in the description if you're not watching this video from that community, where we answer questions like this, as well as really how to become a top 10 and even 1% producer in this industry. It's called Advanced Market Life Agents, and you can find a link for that in the description below. And if this content is valuable to you, like it and maybe subscribe to see future videos when they get published. So what is an IMO? Well, for me, I would simplify an IMO, independent marketing organization. That marketing is for the marketing of products to agents, through distribution, as sometimes that's called. So that IMO, it could be similar to an FMO. One's more independent and distributed. One's more formal and corporate in its organization. Maybe field marketing organization has marketing, field marketing offices, and has a bit more of a hierarchical corporate structure. And I don't mean corporate in like big corporation. I mean corporate in like the cooperation, the organization of people and process. And so IMOs, FMOs, kind of interchangeably for my purposes, just the formal structure of how they kind of go to market in many ways geographically. At least that's how I simplify in the understanding of it. I think a lot of people use these words interchangeably. For this video, we'll assume they're the same thing. And so what does an IMO do? To me, it simply does 4 things. It recruits agents, sometimes just to their organization to be a part of their distribution to sell products, or sometimes to the industry. It takes people, consumers, regular Americans, and turns them into licensed insurance agents. And so they recruit. Step number 1. Number 2, or part number 2, is they give you carrier contracts. They affiliate you and give you license to appoint with, through them, to be able to represent as an agent insurance products, right? And so 1, they recruit agents. 2, they affiliate carrier and product contracts. Number 3, training and development. They're there to develop you in your ability to independently produce, meaning present insurance products as solutions to problems to prospects and drive business, right? So to train and develop you on the product, on ethical requirements, on sales process, right? Everything that's going to help you be better in this business. And then number 3 is marketing support, right? And so then the question becomes, when you're judging an IMO, FMO, agency, whatever affiliation that you work through to get access to product contracts and to develop yourself as an independent insurance agent, producer, right? Your judgment has to be across these 4 criteria. And the recruiting is really more about an experience and process. Doesn't really, it is probably the least measurable filter of the. So we'll really focus on the other 3 here. And so what are the 3 biggest red flags that I would have you look out for when finding the right IMO for you? And notice I said for you. There is no right IMO, best IMO for all things to all people. And when we get into the 3 green lights that I would recommend be the filter for you moving forward with the best IMO for you, you'll see what to focus on and the power of focus. But what are the biggest problems, the red flags, the things you want to listen for when potentially vetting or talking to an IMO? One of the biggest ones that I'll start with is that they tout they have the best leads. They're attracting you with some secret sauce. And really what you have to hear for is that it is a secret. They won't tell you until you contract, right? They won't tell you what they do. Not necessarily how they do it. I'm not asking them to give their trade secrets. If they actually do have a point of leverage for you through them, that would give you an added advantage working with them than others. But be wary of people we have the best programs, but they won't tell you what they are. Because what's really happening with those people is they're not independent marketing organizations. They're what I like to call insurance middleman organizations. They're just standing in between you, the middleman, between you and a carrier contract, right? And you'll find that these other people kind of also make the second red flag mistake. But before I get into that, one more thing on leads is leads aren't enough. And that's someone who generates leads for my own agents as well as hundreds of other agents, right? Leads aren't enough. Right? They're only a third of the equation. And I know this because after working with thousands of agents, I could have a geography where I have one person making millions of dollars a year in commissions, and then that same territory, someone says the leads suck. There's nothing different except the individual, and it's the skill. See, a lot of times these same people, it's like, well, they'll tell you, how do the leads convert? Leads don't convert themselves. Skilled insurance professionals. You see, everything I've said is, I said insurance agents. There's a gap between you getting a license, becoming an insurance agent, and the bridge to being a professional. That you don't care about how leads convert. You know, with your skill, you convert the people who should be converted, right? And so leads aren't enough. And somebody, if is touting their special secret sauce around leads, I'd be weary, especially if it's a secret and they won't tell you until you sign on the dotted line. And then you'll find out they're just going to introduce you to another vendor. The only value was they knew about someone before you did, right? And is that really a value proposition? The next big red flag that kind of goes hand in hand with this is they lead with compensation. Right? They say, we'll pay the highest contracts. Now, compensation is important, but it isn't everything, right? And you should be weary. It should be a red flag if someone, gives you all the compensation, because then there's no margin to actually provide you the support to help develop you to grow your business, right? And that is as important. And here's the thing. If you are at 120% on a life contract because somebody recruited you on, I'm going to give you top contract. And now there's no support. There's no infrastructure. There's no training and development to help you convert the leads. And you're left thinking, well, it's a lead problem, not a process problem, not an ability and skill problem, And now you have 120% and you're only able to write, $30,000 in target premium. What's 120% of that? 36 grand. What if you worked with somebody that put you at 80%, but you were able to write 100 grand? Well, you'd make 80 grand. And that decision to chase compensation just cost you, math on the fly here, $44,000, right? It just cost you $44,000 because you were going to make more money. Right? And so if you do the math, you realize compensation isn't everything. And so if they'll give you all the compensation, expect very little support. There needs to be a balance and a harmony to help put the most money in your pocket every year, measuring the impact of the clients you're serving in their best interest. You have to look at it that way. It's got to be a balance. What's going to help you produce the most and help you run a profitable business, and balancing those two things. And there's a caveat, like there is too low compensation, which goes into the third red flag. The person recruiting you is more focused on recruitment over production, meaning they want you to recruit before your production is worthy of duplication. Imagine this. Imagine McDonald's was more focused on opening locations than the sales at McDonald's. How quickly would that business cease to exist? And also, it's kind of weird because you recruit people to an opportunity to achieve something that you have yet to achieve yourself, but are responsible for leading them to. Kind of backwards and doesn't make sense. Now, the people that are recruiting you and focusing on recruiting will say, well, I'm here to support you, right? But then how are you becoming equipped? Right? And so in that case, these cases where recruitment things, you start at 25%, 35% on a life contract rather than probably a minimum 75, 85%, for a good product and carrier, even being independent as an agent. So those are the three red flags, right? If they say they have the best leads, see, leads aren't enough. There are no perfect leads. There is a proven process to convert any lead source. And we've proven that working with thousands of agents. Don't focus on just compensation. If that's all they're focused on, be weary. Unless that's what you want to do. You want to potentially build a house of cards of, kind of MLM style, recruit before produce. Not what I would recommend. Then let's get into the three green lights and wrap this up. The first thing that I would have you be a green light for you to move forward, or one of them, is mission over money. The most profitable thing that you can do in this business is to be passionate about the value you create and the clients you serve. Right? And I learned some time ago that money earned ethically is a byproduct of value creation. And funny enough, when you are truly focused on being valuable to your prospect and putting them in a better position financially with your products, you will be way more profitable than the person who is transactional. And so mission over money. And so this kind of moves into what's your mission, and then you have to find the person that aligns with it. What do you want to do? You have to focus on IMO or agency FMO relationship that's aligned with who you want to be and how you want to serve the marketplace with your insurance license. And I would tell you, the most successful people out here, they focus and they work with someone who is focused, not trying to be something for everyone, but everything to someone. So you have to find that product alignment and then the capability around those products. And usually it's you'll hear this from people give you the green light when they talk about what they don't do. Hey, here's what we focused on and here's what we don't do. I mean, for me, we don't focus on term insurance. We use our insurance license for retirement income planning. And so we use properly structured IULs and annuity products. That's our focus. So much so that we have like a referral platform to send term business elsewhere. We get a small piece, but it doesn't burden our business process in the specialty we have. And you earn a lot of trust with clients when you have that positioning. Your profitability will go up because they know you as the expert in this area. So the final thing that I'll give you is, what is the clear development path? This is green light number 3. With that focus, they can also then develop a proven process and then develop you to be independently equipped to earn the income that you want. Along this journey with these focus, there's a bunch of other things that drive the business. But what you'll find is what the best IMO for you is someone who aligns with you and can help you get to where you want to go. You know, that clear development path, green light number 3, they should have fruit on the tree. You should say, hey, they have a bunch of people who have done what I want to do, and they have a process to help me do that too, and I want to get there, right? And that's what you should be looking for. Hey, here are my goals. How can I get there? Can you show other people that you've helped get there, right? And they shouldn't be the people who are going to win regardless, right? They should be able to show you how their process delivered that outcome, right? And that is what I would look for. Hey, if this video was helpful, maybe tag a friend in the comments, share it with somebody, hit the like button, subscribe, do something to pay it forward. Yeah, if you do subscribe, we look forward to seeing you in the next video. And hey, how about you join us in that free community, AMLA Juice.